Hello, you're very welcome to this episode of My Generation Gap, where we have me, Stuart Vincent Moore, a 50-year-old Generation Xer, talking to and generally arguing about media and culture from our different generations. We have Harriet Pilkington, a certified Generation Zer.
Gen Z.
Gen Z, yeah. Hi, H, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling better. I was a little bit poorly, but I'm definitely feeling better now.
You were very poorly.
Yeah, very poorly.
It was quite shocking, very poorly. What was it, not eating for a week?
Yeah, from about Tuesday to, Tuesday, so yeah.
Yeah, several days in hospital.
Yeah.
And I didn't think we'd be recording this week, so I'm really pleased that you're well and you sound bright and you look really well. You're obviously feeling a lot better.
I am feeling better. I've been shopping today. I was just saying I've dropped quite a lot of weight and everything's falling off me. So I always feel better when I shop. So,
well, a bit of retail therapy, very good. So apart from that, have you had a good week?
I have. I've spent a lot of time on social media. I think I've completed it. Got down every trend and every kind of hashtag there is to look at.
It's weird, isn't it, when you're in hospital? I always find that you're in hospital and you've got nothing to do, yet you can't get anything done. I remember being in hospital just for a few days last year and thinking, I'll get somebody to bring me some books, or I'll do this, or I'll watch this TV programme. And you end up not doing anything because you wake up and you think, I won't start reading this because the breakfast people will be round in a minute and they've just taken my order, so I won't do this, or I won't get a shower, or I won't. And then you think, you have your breakfast, and you think, no, the doctors are doing the rounds in a little bit, so I can't go get a shower.
Yeah, everything's on a time schedule.
Yeah, so by the time it gets to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you think, I haven't had time to have a shower.
Yeah, I found that, people, I think my auntie made about me a magazine, and I think I probably read the first 2 pages, and then somebody came to talk to me, and then somebody else, and then, like you said, you got lunch, and then one of the weirdest parts about hospital for me was my diet is completely fat-free. I can't have any fat because of my gallstones. So I'm like, what have you got fat-free? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, right, great.
Your hospital.
Yeah, you're telling me that you need to eat before you go home. We need to see you eat before we can send you home. And I was like, right, okay, what can I have to eat? Nothing. So Mum had to go to the shop and get me some fruit because they didn't even have any fruit.
We can eat sugar, can't you?
It's just pure sugar. Sugar packet. Sugar. I did that the other day. I ate a bit of a sugar packet because I needed the sugar.
Oh, I'll tell you what I had this week. Talking of sugar, I had a Spanish latte. A
Spanish latte? What makes it
Spanish? Spanish latte. Well, exactly. What do you think makes it Spanish? What do you think they put in a latte to make it Spanish?
I don't know, because sometimes they put alcohol in things, but I know that you're not an alcohol drinker.
It could a bit of sherry maybe, or a paella.
Something sweet. Cinnamon or something like that.
It's a spoonful of condensed milk.
A spoonful of condensed milk. Why? For what purpose?
I don't know why that makes it a Spanish latte.
Did it taste any different?
Well, yeah, because it had loads of condensed milk in it. It
tastes a lot sweeter.
Yeah, it was really great.
Ah, where did you get the Spanish latte from?
Costa. Yeah. Spanish latte. There you go. I'm going to start making them at home. I love a bit of condensed milk. Condensed milk sandwiches.
Grandma likes condensed milk. So does Mum. Mum's eaten condensed milk straight just before.
Oh, yeah, just spoon it out of the tin.
Yeah.
Love it. Now, this week, we've got our generation gap, and we're talking about a TV show from my era, from the Gen X, and it's a TV show that's very dear to my heart. It's one of my favourite, which is why we've done it now, because it's one of my favourite TV shows, and I was quite anxious for you to enjoy it, because you want to present to people, don't you, that media that you love, and you want them to love it as well, so I'm assuming that you do, because what we're looking at now is Sherlock Holmes TV series, ITV made, Granada Studios made in the 1990s. Sherlock Holmes is played by what I would say is the definitive Sherlock Holmes, the most excellent Jeremy Brett. There is no better Sherlock Holmes. What did you think of it, H?
It was definitely old-fashioned. I think
H
that
is
movies...
Victorian. It's set in the 19th century.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's definitely... I thought it was going to be like set in the 50s. I don't know. I was just expecting it a little bit after than what it actually was set in. But I feel like movies have changed so much in, you know, the years that now I was looking on... I've been on Facebook a lot this week, and one thing I've noticed about movies is that AI, which obviously is a massive thing in my generation, are making a lot of... Because I go on Facebook a lot because I do hairdressing, which not a lot of my generation do. I've noticed all these ads targeted towards like the older audience who don't really understand AI.
Hang on, I go on Facebook.
Yeah. So when you go on Facebook, there was this ad, and it was like Deadpool 4, and it like had Ariana Grande in it, and there was like a dog, but they're these film posters that are made by AI, and they're just completely untrue. And I've noticed a few times that my mum has said to me things like, I don't know, like, oh, they're bringing out another Wicked already, and things like that, and I'm like, no, it's not true. But the other thing I found with AI is they make certain things like, look at the picture of these dogs lined up perfectly, and they say the word grateful, and you look at like one of the dogs and it's got no heads, or like no tail or legs, or...
Hang on, so what? People are using AI to put film posters onto Facebook?
Yeah, but false ones. So then the older generation comment in like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch this, and they go viral, and they must make so much money out of it. But if you look on their accounts and you scroll down, they're all just posters that just are completely untrue.
Well, why would they do that? What's the benefit of doing that?
I'm assuming money. I'm not 100% sure, but they go viral. They do massively well. Like, I look at the likes and they're like thousands of likes.
Well, I don't see those on my feed.
Well, maybe you do, but you just don't know that they're false.
Oh, maybe. That's it.
Yeah.
I usually see like adverts for comfy shoes.
Adverts for comfy shoes. But yeah, no, Silver Blaze, it was good. I had to watch it twice because I fell asleep the first time.
What? Now, listen,
Yeah.
I'm going to summarise the story because Silver Blaze, and especially this episode, is one of the best episodes of Sherlock Holmes. And the story of Silver Blaze is a racing horse, and it goes missing from the stables, and the horse trainer is found murdered in the countryside, and the horse is lost. Sherlock Holmes finds Silver Blaze and finds the murderer of the stable lad, and all's well with the world after that. And what did you think? Were you surprised by the murderer when he found out revealed who the murderer was?
I was surprised by the murderer. Yeah, I wasn't. I thought, I don't know what I quite expected really, but I didn't expect it to be who it was.
Yeah. So, dear listener, spoilers for a story that's over 100 years old, but the murderer is the horse who kicks the stable lad in the head because he was trying to make the horse lame and scupper their chances to win in the race. Do you know what? I must admit, I do love Sherlock Holmes, and I do love this version of Sherlock Holmes. But I think it's like you said last week. Even I found it slow.
Yeah, slow is the right word.
And I think that's some of the difference that we'll find between the two generations is, and sometimes it's useful to do that, to let a story breathe and to take it in, but yeah. I can get that some of it was a
little bit slow.
And there was some things in it, like I did like it when Sherlock Holmes is surveying the crime scene and he's laying on the floor.
Laid on the floor, touching the mud.
Yeah, touching the mud with his like crawling through the grass and stuff, but doing it really dramatically. But yeah. I really like it when the local copper comes along and Holmes is going, "There's so many people trampled on this crime scene. How can I find what's going on?" And this copper says, "Look, Mr. Holmes, I've got the shoes of the the person that found the body, so we can identify whose footprints were those in the mud. We've got the shoes of the dead person, so you can identify the footprints of the dead person, so we can eliminate this. And I've brought the horseshoe."
Yeah.
What? The horseshoe. I thought, oh, what else has he got? Oh, I've got the leg of the local fox, so that we can eliminate them and see where they went.
The brother's horse's leg. The horse's brother's leg, yeah.
So the horseshoe of the horse, so we can see.
One of my favourite bits was at that scene when he goes, "No, people have trampled all over this, but they carry on walking like really skitchily, trampling it on it all.
Trampling it on
like the three of them, they're saying, "Oh no, people have walked on this" as they're doing it. There's a few things that I have jotted down that I want to talk about. One of the things was names, a bit like Wicked.
Why? What were the names? I don't even remember the names.
Well, you've got Backwater.
Backwater?
Which I found decently funny, for no particular reason. But just, my favourite one was the name Nobby.
Nobby?
Nobby! Like, imagine somebody called Nobby nowadays.
But you know what? I used to have a friend called Nobby.
You used to have a friend called Nobby?
Yeah.
Was that their actual name?
No, but people get called Nobby because there was a famous footballer called Nobby Styles. So if everybody had the surname Styles, they just got called Nobby.
That's unfortunate. Not in my generation, you're not.
So do you know what? I didn't pick up on that because I just thought it was a normal name.
Backwater and Nobby.
Backwater and Nobby, yeah. Crime fighting duo.
Yeah, but like you said about the film, it's quite old fashioned. I was saying on the Wicked podcast that it's like watching The Wizard of Oz. You start it and it makes me really sleepy because of its slow pace. It just puts me to sleep. But there were some really funny parts in it that I thought were just very random. Which the first thing was when Sherlock licks the window. Well, he wipes his finger across the window and licks his finger because I couldn't think of a single need to do that as a detective.
Oh, he was looking for the opium.
The opium. Put in the dinner. Yeah, but why would you lick the window? Why would the opium be on the window? And you wouldn't want to then poison... If you thought the opium was there, would you then want to poison yourself?
Oh, it's like that scene from Wicked, isn't it? Where Elphaba brings all the poppies in and basically knocks out a whole class with opium. Basically giving everybody in a class heroin.
Struggling a class friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought one of the sign of the times was the bribe of £5. That would not even get you a footlong Subway.
But did you see the size of £5 notes? They're like A4 pieces of paper.
Yeah, I thought that some of the acting was questionable.
I'll tell you what, £5 wouldn't even get you a Spanish latte.
Would it not get you a Spanish latte?
Not a medium one, anyway. Might be a small one.
Small. What is it they're called at Starbucks? The small ones. There's a certain place. I know that is it Grande, and one of them is big, and they've got like fancy names, and I think it's a way to trick you into getting the bigger sizes and not knowing what you've ordered.
Well, yeah, they have tall, Grande, and Venti, don't they?
That's it.
Venti's 20, so it's like 20 ounces, which is like a pint.
I don't know if anybody else knows that at all. I would have not have known that.
You know what,
not in the slightest.
Yeah, but I don't know which is bigger, a tall or a grande.
No, I'm not sure. I'm assuming a grande because it sounds bigger, if you know what I mean. But I'm not really sure. But yeah, some of the acting in Silver Blaze was good. Other parts, I thought was a little bit GCSE drama kind of vibes, like Silver Blaze is missing, and then when they get out of bed and the other guy's still asleep, and he has to like, I thought, and then did you see the guy run with the running?
No.
Oh, you need to rewatch it. They're all running off into the distance, and obviously they're all in the big gowns and the stuff like flowing in the wind, and he's like running like this. And... I
rewatch it every year on my birthday.
Well, you should have picked up on that. Maybe you run like that normally. Maybe you did.
Did you like the reveal though when he because they disguise Silver Blaze, because Silver Blaze runs away and he gets taken in by a neighbouring stables, and they disguise Silver Blaze by painting over his white patch on his forehead, don't they, with black paint, and Sherlock Holmes washes it off.
Yeah, I do like that bit because he says, doesn't he? He's like, well, my horse isn't here, and he's like, well, it's right behind you. I did like that bit. I thought that was really unique.
And then did you pick up, this is the episode that's got the, well, I suppose it's quite a famous phrase now that's used in another story, which is the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. Which is what this is from. Yeah, it refers to this story.
I recognised that when I heard it, because when he said the mysterious, I can't remember the phrase, but when he said the mysterious, is it incident of the dog in the nighttime, whatever it is?
Curious incident of the dog in the nighttime.
That's the one, yeah. But I think there's a lot of like sign of the times, you know, with how different things were when they're looking at his pockets. If you looked at somebody's pockets now, you'd have an iPhone 14, a cherry iced vape, and if you're over 30, a £1 coin.
What do you mean over 30, £1 coin? You always have to have a £1 coin on you to go in your trolley.
That's what I meant. I rest my case. I thought that his fashion was questionable though. Why would you need a cap and a hood?
You put the hood up to keep your cap dry.
Does that make any sense? Why do you need the cap then?
Because you don't want to be sat in the house all day with a wet cap on.
Yeah, I thought his fashion was questionable. But I liked the coat, but it was I liked the way he moved with the coat. It was very theatre-y.
Oh, I'll tell you something. Talking about finding things in your pockets, I had to fix our washing machine this week. It just stopped working. It made me feel like a proper adult fixing our washing machine.
Like an adult.
Yeah. It stopped working. I was like, oh, no. And the washing was piling up. And so I thought, oh, do you know what? So I pulled the filter plug out. It took me ages to get it out because it's all stuck. So this is a Generation Z thing to do, innit? I looked up a
Gen Z thing to do.
Yeah. I looked up how to do it on YouTube.
On YouTube?
Yeah, on the YouTube. I unscrewed the drain filter, but it was all stuck. It wouldn't come out. And when I eventually got it out, it stank. All this water came out, and all over the kitchen floor. And inside this drain plug, there was a load of hair and bits of material. But the thing that had clogged it all up was 4 empty packets of squashes.
Of squashes? Oh, squashes.
Yeah, the drumstick squashes.
Yeah. Who's the squashes of the household then?
Well, Ivan, my stepson. So he'll just put them in his pocket of his kecks. And then, just clogged up the... Oh, man alive, it stank.
We once got a call from the office in Wakefield. So, dear listener, my dad runs a company locally. And we got a call from our office sometime last summer. And it'd been really warm last summer. And we had like a little AC unit. Actually, no, it wasn't the AC unit. It was the fan. So what had happened is my dad isn't the first person called about issues in the office. It's my dad's business partner who lives closer. He wasn't up, so my dad was the one who got up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and he went all the way to the office, expecting, I don't know, an intruder, something like that. There was a movement alarm inside the office. And as he went in, one of our employees had drawn a penis on a piece of paper and stuck it on the wall, but it was next to the fan, so the fan was blowing this piece of paper. So my dad had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to discover that he was not happy.
No. Right, so, listen, back to Sherlock Holmes.
Yep. Sherlock
Holmes is a Generation X win or a Generation Z win?
Gen Z. I would say, are we comparing it with Wicked, or are we just on its own?
Yeah, just...
So, on its own, I would say it's a Gen Z win.
Oh, right. Okay.
Just, even without anything to compare it to.
Do you know what? Even though I love it, and I'll take that on the chin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to get cross about you not enjoying it, but I'm not going to. Because we've got a new feature.
A new feature?
Yeah. It's a sideline. It's Burger Stews, Burger Review. It's Burger Stews, Burger Review. It's Burger Stews, Burger Review. It's Burger Stews, Burger Review.
Eating a burger, then he marks it out of 5.
Eating a burger, and then I mark it out of 5.
Right.
This week, it's the McDonald's chili cheeseburger, 1.5.
1.5 out of 10, out of 5.
Yeah, 1.5 out of 5.
That's low.
Yeah.
Why so low?
Because I mean it's value for money.
Right.
It's $2.49, I think. But I think I expected more from the chili. It's not really chili. It's
From the chili.
I mean, it's a bit spicy, but it's just not all that.
What was in it?
Well, it's just. I think I preferred a double cheeseburger. If I was going to have a McDonald's double cheeseburger, I'd have given that. I'd have given that like a 2.5. But the addition of the chili, nah, not bothered.
Just nothing. No. We had I've been one of the only things I can eat is Subways, bizarrely enough. You wouldn't think that Subway is low fat, but it is, because white bread, the Italian white bread, is low fat.
Is it?
Even though you would expect, yeah, because the seeded breads are a lot more fatty, because they've got, even though they're good fats, they're better for you, but regardless of whether they're better or not, I can't have them, because I can't even have good fat. But white bread, it's so lacking nutrition that there's not even any fat in it, really. It's just, there's not a lot in it. And I have turkey, and then I have cucumber, lettuce, sweet corn, tomato, and then I have caramelised onion and sweet onion sauce.
What, caramelised onion? Is that a sauce or?
Yeah. No, it's caramelised onions. It's like red caramelised onions. Yeah, it's very nice. So that's my go-to, and I would give that a 5 out of 5. Maybe that's what I can't eat.
It's not
anything
Subway
else.
review, is it? It's Burger Stew's burger review.
I'm taking over now.
Well, you'll have to write your own theme tune then. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Test. Woo, woo, woo. Test. Woo, woo, woo. Who writes all the Sherlock Holmes stories?
I have absolutely no idea, you know.
Not the author, not Conan Doyle. Who's
You're acting as though I would have known that.
like Sherlock Holmes' companion?
Oh, the person he works with. Watson.
Yeah. Dr. Watson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Who is Sherlock Holmes' housekeeper?
Don't know the housekeeper.
Mrs. Hudson.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
Can you name one of the other horses in the race against Silver Blaze?
Iris.
Oh, really?
Yep, fact check
I'm
it.
not going to fact check it because I don't even know myself.
Well, it's correct.
It's not, is it?
It is, because I saw them all on the board and I sped watch it at 1.5 speed with subtitles.
What? It was that slow. You
The second time
1.5 times the speed.
The second time I watched it, yes.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I couldn't rewatch it. But I saw Iris in the betting thing, so yeah, you can fact check
that. Fair enough. How many questions is that?
3.
What? Name one of the things that Holmes found in the dead man's pockets.
He found a small blade with a cork on it, because that's what he used to harm the horses. Well, he tried to harm the horse with.
Right, yeah, good. And finally, what snacks did I eat whilst I watched?
Well, whilst you watched it this week? Oh, well, you were at home.
That's right.
Is it a packet snack?
I'm not giving you any clues.
Right. Jammy Dodger.
No, custard creams.
I was close.
Yeah,
That's not
biscuit.
too far
Well,
off.
yeah, you're not having that.
Yeah.
You lose the test. So, Gen Z wins this week. Gen Z. But you lose the test.
Unfortunate. But to be fair, I didn't have high hopes for the Sherlock Holmes.
Well, that's disappointing if you're coming into it with the wrong attitude.
No, for the quiz. Well, maybe on the...
So listen, when you got better and you came out of hospital, did you catch up with the traitors? Because, of course, the traitors' final was last week.
I did. Well, I tried not to... Literally, it was Friday when I was admitted. So on the Friday was the final. So I thought I'll stay off my phone, which I wasn't on anyway. I was in quite a bad way. But by the time Sunday morning came around, I thought, oh, I'll check my phone. And I saw it straight away. I don't know why I went on
Oh, and
my
a
phone. It
notification.
spoiled it. Yeah, it told me. So I wasn't happy. I liked Jake. I wanted Jake to win. I didn't gel so much with Leanne. I just think I'm quite different to Leanne. But I wasn't disappointed in them both winning.
No, no.
I think Jake was really deserving of it because he got most of the traitors out.
He did, didn't he? He didn't pick up on Charlotte though, did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't. But oh my God, when what's it, Frankie?
When
When
Frankie
Frankie
picked
picked
Charlotte,
Charlotte,
yeah,
yeah,
that was the jaw dropping moment.
it was. I think that changed the whole thing. I think Charlotte would have won it if Frankie hadn't have picked her.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
I think Charlotte was a good traitor. I don't think there was any reason for her to go quite harsh on Frankie, even after she knew she'd been banished, and kind of say, "Don't trust this woman" and things. Just let her have the prize when we've lost her. Do you know what I mean? There was no need for that. But I started watching the American
Have
traitors
you?
this
I
week.
haven't started that. What's it like?
I am not as big
Oh,
of a fan.
really?
I think you get more genuineness from the UK one because in the US they're all celebrities, so they're all used to the cameras and things like that. As in the UK one, you're looking at people who are very everyday. You know what I mean? They're people you'd cross in the street. As in the American one, they're used to the cameras and things. A lot of people from Survivor, and there's a lot of inside things like, oh, that's them from Survivor, and they already know them. And if you've not watched those other American shows, you're not really gonna know who's who.
Okay. Oh, I might give that a miss then.
Um, yeah, I'd give it a miss. I haven't tried like the New Zealand one yet. I think there's an Australian one as well. But I don't know if it's because they're like American celebrities that I didn't gel with it as much. I think maybe if it was UK and you had like Simon Cowell in there with, I don't know, Rita Ora, it would be a bit more, you know what I mean?
No Ledman.
Yeah, yeah. TV of the week has kind of been, I started watching a show called Chaos on Netflix, and it's by the producers of The End of the Effing World, which is on Netflix. I loved that one that came out. I was probably about 14 when I watched it. And I loved like the format and that and the way of watching it. It's one of mine and my best friend's favourite series. And I started watching this Chaos, and it's about the Greek gods. Uh, and the earth, but it got very confusing. I mean, I've been on these anti-sickness tablets, and they are crazy. So I couldn't tell you quite what went on in Chaos. It was chaos in my mind. Yeah, I when they went to send me home, they gave me, so I've had like a few drips and things.
Yeah.
And when they were giving me the anti-sickness, some of the nurses give me the anti-sickness because there's different types, they do different drugs, and one of the anti-sicknesses is in a syringe. And they stand there for 3 minutes and they do like 10 mils at a time. So like in your sleep, you don't even notice the bin. They just do a bit at a time and they stand there for a few minutes. However, every now and then you get one of them who forgets. I think they forget, and they think it's a flush, and they just give you it all at once, and it's so strong that you can taste it, and it makes me do this. It makes me. I don't know what it
Hang
is
on,
that it
do that
makes me
again.
put
Do
my
what?
it makes me do this. It makes me sit with. I have to touch my forehead, and then it like makes me like twitch and stuff like that because it's so strong. So they sent me home and they're like, "You can go home now. We're just gonna give you your anti-sickness." And they went and injected it, and I couldn't walk. I was like, I can't leave. My fingers are all tingly. I can't leave.
Tingling fingers.
Yeah, I had to wait 30 minutes until it chilled out.
I had to go into hospital once because I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh
I
yeah.
was playing after playing badminton, and
I thought it was from the motorbike.
well, that's how I first did it, and then it used to pop out quite a lot. And then one time
Right.
I'd been playing badminton, so I was all sweaty and stinky and horrible, and my shoulder popped out, and I couldn't get it back in. So the people that was playing badminton, my friends, had to drive me to the hospital, and
Yeah.
in the casualty in A&E, they couldn't get the shoulder back in, so what they said was this was on a Friday evening. So I said, right, now because you're all cold and everything and all your muscles have shrank, it's going to be really difficult to get that arm back in its socket. So we will have to do it under general anaesthetic in the theatre, in an operating theatre. We'll have to and like knock you out and put it in while you're completely, because what that does is under general anaesthetic your body will be completely relaxed, your muscles will be completely, and we'll just be able to manipulate it back into its socket. So what we'll do is, but this is a Friday evening and we won't be able to do that until Monday morning. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to lie you face down on a bed on this ward. And so they'd taken, because I just had shorts and a t-shirt on because I've been playing badminton. So they'd
smelling.
Yeah, so they took those off me and put me in one of those gowns. So they laid me on the bed on face down. It was my right arm. So they had my right arm dangling off the side of the bed, and they tied a kilogram weight to my finger, because what they said was we'll give you morphine to help you with the pain, and hopefully while you're asleep or at some point over the weekend when you relax, the weight might just pull your arm back into its
That's terrible.
So I had to have all my breakfast, eating with my left hand with my face in a pillow, but because we had those guns, so I was laid down on my face with my bum out, eating like
and fat with your bum out eating breakfast.
And by the time Monday morning came around, my right hand, the fingers where they tied this weight onto my fingers, it was so swollen because all the blood had gone down to my fingers. I had hands like King Charles, like this big sausage finger. And well, it didn't work, so they had to take me down to theatre on the Monday morning. Yeah.
That's terrible. I've never heard anything like that. Well, I have, but hospitals are definitely bizarre places. We were in A&E. And dear listener, I don't know if you've heard of those videos. They're like chain videos that go around, and some mainly amongst boys, that you send them to your friends, and they're like female moaning audios. They're rude. So you go to open your phone and you open the message, and it's rude. So if you're at work or whatever. So we were at the front seats of A&E, me, mum and dad opened his phone, and that happened to it, and it was full volume as well, and he couldn't shut it off, so it was like five seconds, 5 seconds too long. But I was so appalling that I couldn't laugh, that I thought that mum was going to wet herself. It was quite bad. And then he was like, I better go hide in toilets now. Like, you can't do that now, you look really bad. Because to the older generation who don't understand chainmail and stuff, our generation would probably know. You know what I mean? If we heard it, we'd be like, oh no, that that chainmail's there. But as an older person, you'd be thinking, do you know what I mean?
What is it? A chainmail?
Chainmail. That's what I call it anyway. A chainmail is like something that's like copy and pasted and sent on, whatever it may be.
Right.
It used to be back when I was like, I don't know, 11-ish. Send this on to 10 friends or you'll get bad luck, and then you send that to 10 people, and they send that to 10 people.
You used to get that, but they were chain letters.
Chain letters?
Yeah, back in the 80s, you'd get a letter through the post, and you'd have to
Would you actually?
Yeah, you'd have to write 10 other letters and post them on.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You are.
No, that's not a lie.
You are.
I'm not lying.
I refuse to believe that that's a thing.
What, a chain letter? That's what a chain letter is, yeah?
No.
Right.
No.
It is.
I refuse. I would have believed anything, honestly. When I had one of the anti-sicknesses, it was the anti-sickness that got me. It messed with your brain a bit, and Mum was like, Stuart wants to see you, Wendy wants to see you, Kerry wants to see you, and then she said somebody, I can't remember who it was, she said, probably like my friend's mum or something.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people want to see you, and she just came up with one name, I think it was Wendy. And she's like, when do you want to come see it? And I started crying. That's so sweet. She was like, have you just had a shot of anti-sickness? I was like, yeah. She was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a bizarre experience being in hospital. Would not recommend.
Right. I think we'll call this a night, H.
Yeah.
Right, goodbye, dear listener.
Yeah.
Goodbye, H. Love you.
Goodbye. Love you.
Thank you for listening to My Generation Gap podcast. You can contact us by emailing mygenerationgap@gmail.com or podcast production by Stuart Vincent Moore, music by Andy Dawson, artwork by Harriet Pilkington.